Now we are going to download and install Visual Studio on Windows operating system. So before downloading and installing Visual Studio, first of all, we need to know what is Visual Studio, right? So basically, Visual Studio is an IDE provided by Microsoft to develop different kind of a .NET applications, right? Irrespective of the .NET applications, irrespective of programming language you use to develop .NET applications, right? Only one solution, that is Visual Studio. The Visual Studio is one solution or one stop for all type of a .NET application and irrespective of the programming language. Whether you develop web application, Windows application, desktop application, whether you use C# programming language or F# programming language or VB programming language, the solution, the editor is going to be Visual Studio, right? And not only so basically using this Visual Studio, what we can do, we can write the code, right? Code editing is there, code debugging is there, code running is there. Even it also provide a good looking user interface, right? So compiler is there, code completion tool is there, source control is there. Source control is very important when you are going to work in in your company, right? So they might be using some tool called TFS, right? So source control is also there. Some extension functionality is provided also, right? So if you want to use any third-party libraries, if you want to download some DLL or library from a NuGet, then also this functionality is provided by Visual Studio. So many different functionalities provided by Visual Studio. As we started working, we will come to know one by one. Okay. So as we are going to develop, we are going to cover these are 10 features, right, which is the latest one. So we are going to download Visual Studio 2019. So in order to download Visual Studio 2019, so what you need to do, you need to visit to this website, right? So you can see, so when you visit to this website, so what is the latest version that will be shown here, right? So you can see the latest version is Visual Studio 2020, right? And you can see there are different flavors of Visual Studio. You can see community, professional, and enterprise. And as a student, and if you want to practice C# programming, or if you want to do some practice, if you want to develop some small application individually, then this community edition is fine. And you can download this community edition freely, right? But if you are having a small team or small company, you can go with the professional and enterprise. And for this, you have to pay. First 30 days is going to be free. That is the trial period, 90 days trial period, right? And after 90 days, you need to pay. And you need to buy the license and you need to pay for that. But for all, it's fine, right? So what you need to do? So you just need to click on this download button, right? So once you click on the download button, then you will see that one exe is getting downloaded. You can see the extension is .exe. Can anybody say me why the extension is .exe?
The operating system is on Windows.
Right.
It's a executable.
Sorry?
It's a executable.
No, it's a executable file. But why
The
the
operating system is on Windows. That's why the exe
yeah,
file.
so that's why, because for a different operating system, the extension is going to be different, right? And if you are a developer, if you don't know what I need to download, then you can come to here. So you can select your machine, right? You want to develop .NET, C#, web, desktop, then it will show you. Once you select this, it's going to you need to use Visual Studio for because if you are unable to identify what I need to download, then from here you can select what are what is your operating system, then you will show you what is the download, right? So if you want to download Mac, then you can get it, right? So if you want Visual Studio Code, then you can download it from here. But as we are going to download Visual Studio 2022 Community Edition and this. So once you click once the exe is downloaded, then you can install this 2022 on your machine, right? So I have already installed the Visual Studio on my machine, this Visual Studio 2020. Apart from 2022, I have installed other versions as well. right? So I'm not going to install anymore, but I have make a note how to install this, right? So just have a look. So you can go to this website. You can click on this. If your operating system is Windows, right? You can click on this link. So it will download. So you can see this is not 30 days, this is 90 days, right? Previously, when I have created this document, it was 30 days free trial. Now it is 90 days, right? So as a student, or if you want to do some practice, then this community edition is fine, and you can get all the features. Whatever feature is there in professional enterprise, everything is available in this community edition. So you can click on this download. So once you click on this, then you can see this exe file is getting downloaded. And once this file is downloaded, then you have two options to install. So one, you can click on this exe file. Other option is, so if you go to the download, so you will see that one setup is there. So you can double click on it to start downloading, sorry, start installing, downloading and installing, right? Then once you click on double click, or once you click on this, so one window is open. He will ask you, do you want this app to make changes to your device? Yes, you need to click on yes, because any message. Okay, let me mute everyone. Yeah, now it is fine. Okay. So you can see, once you double click on it, this window will come. So you have to click on the yes button, right? So I am unable to take the screenshot from my window, because this time you are unable to do anything. You can only click yes or no. So I have just to take the image using my mobile, and then I have attached it. So as you are going to install the Visual Studio, it means it is going to change your device. It is going to do some settings, or it is going to modify some settings on your machine. So you need to click on yes, right? So once you click on the yes, so this window will open. So here it is saying you have to accept the privacy policy, and you have to agree the terms and conditions, right? So as you are installing Visual Studio, so you need to accept these two things. If you want to read, so these are clickable. So you just need to click on this, and you can read the license. But I never read the license, and I hope most of the developer they don't want to spend some time to read the license and this privacy statement. So you just need to click on the continue button. So once you click on the continue button, you will see that the things are going to be downloaded, and once it is as well as installed, right? So you can see downloaded is going on, and installed is going on, and it will take some time depending on the internet speed, right? So if your internet speed is high, then it will take less time, and if your internet speed is slow, then it will take more time to download and install the Visual Studio, right? So once the download and install once the download and install completed, then you will get this window screen. So let me improve the size. Okay, so this is nothing but your you can say installer, Visual Studio installer, right? So in this installer, you need to select. So as part of this Visual Studio 2022, what are the things you need to install, right? So you can see, so generally you have to check ASP.NET web development, as we are going to develop some web kind application, and you need to check this checkbox as well. That is desktop application, that is console application or standalone application. These two checkbox you need to check. If you want to develop some Azure application, you need to click on this. If you want to develop Python project, you need to click on this. For Node.js, you need to click on this. If you want to develop some mobile application using .NET, you need to click on this. So like this, there are many workloads available. So, but for you, these two is sufficient, right? Now, if someone already installed Visual Studio 2022 and he have not installed, while he is installing, he have not checked these two checkboxes, then what he can do? Yes, so you can also do the same. So what you need to do, you need to type your Visual Studio installer, right? So you can see this Visual Studio installer. So when you install a Visual Studio 2022, along with this installer getting installed, right? Now just click on the installer, right? So the different Visual Studio version, whatever you install on your machine, all will be shown here, right? So you can say, I have installed 2017 community, I have installed community 2019, I have installed 2022, right? Now, if you want to add those checkboxes, or if you want to remove some of the things from your Visual Studio 2022, so what you need to do is you need to click on this modify button. So once I click on the modify button, what are currently installed on my machine as part of a Visual Studio 2022, those will be shown here. You can see this checkbox is checked. This checkbox is checked. So you can again, if it is not checked, then you just need to click on the check button. And here you can see I am not selecting anything, so nothing is showing. So as soon as I click on this or I click on this, so you can see there is a modify button. So once you click on this modify button, these two new things which I have selected is going to be installed, right? So for you, for us, these are not required. For us, this ASP.NET and web development and this .NET desktop development, these two are sufficient. So you just need to select these two checkboxes, and if you are installing for the first time, then you will see this install button, right? If you are going through the Visual Studio installer and modifying, then you will see the modify button. As for you, it is going to show you the install button, right? Once you click on the install button, then Visual Studio 2022 will be installed along with these two features. So you can say this. So, and whatever size it will show you the total space required to install these two things along with Visual Studio and Visual Studio, right? So guys, one more thing, when you install this Visual Studio 2022, so this will automatically include or install .NET Framework latest version. The latest is .NET Framework 6. So as part of this Visual Studio 2022, .NET Framework 6 is also going to be installed on your machine. So no need to install separately .NET Framework, right? So it will take some time to download the things and install the things on your machine, right? Once the download and the installation completed, then it will ask you to sign in, right? So sign in means it is not a mandatory thing for community edition, right? So if you want, so what happened? So if you want, you can sign in, and if you don't want, then you can sign in later, right? So once the installation completed, then you can open Visual Studio. So if you are opening the Visual Studio, okay, so the guys who are leaving the training, no worry, because yesterday I have created one Telegram channel, and after the end of this class, I will put that video, put this video on the Telegram channel. You just send me, so you just tell me who are going to attend the main sessions from Monday onwards. I will add them to the Telegram channel so that you can look into this video, right? Okay. So if you are installing for the first time, then you will see this window. So this is nothing but a deployment setting. So you just need to go with the default one. See, you can see here a dark and blue mode, blue extra consist light mode. So generally, most of the developer, when they are working on any company, they are using this dark mode. But I generally prefer to use this blue mode because it gives you clear or picture idea. So what is exactly you can, if you want to show your code to someone else, right? So this blue is going to give you a better clarity. Dark generally developer prefer to use because it will hide the compilation error, right? So if you are developing some application and there are some compilation error, then it will not attract the others, right? As a developer, you will be able to understand these are compilation error, but it will not attract the others. But here, as I'm going to show you everything, I'm going to use this default blue one. It is up to you which theme you want to use while installing your Visual Studio, right? So that's it. So once you click on the Start Visual Studio, so it will open your Visual Studio for the first time. So when you open Visual Studio, you can see this window. So here you can create any type of a .NET applications using any type of a .NET language, right? So you can use C Sharp, VB, JSharp, you can develop web, desktop, mobile. So anything you can develop using this Visual Studio 2022 window. And even you can use, you can debug the application on fly, you can use the third-party libraries, extensions, everything, right? So that's it. Now let us move and understand how to create and develop our first application, and then we'll conclude the session. Okay. So first of all, you need to open Visual Studio 2022, right? So here I'm opening Visual Studio 2022, right? So I'm going to show you how to create a console application. See, so here in this window you can see these things. So these things are nothing but the recently opened or created project on your machine using your Visual Studio 2022. See, I have created many projects using 2022, so all these things are showing here, right? So if you have already created one project and if you want to work on that project, you can simply click on this solution and it will open that project. But here I'm going to create a new one. So you can see clone a repository, open a project solution, open a local folder, and create a new project. So here you need to click on this create a new project button, right? So once you click on the create a new project open, so it will open this, say, right? So again, you can see recent project template, right? Recently, whatever applications you have created, those are going to be shown here. So if you have created a console application, then that console application project template will be shown here. If you develop Windows application, it will be shown here. If you develop ASP.NET Core web application, that will be shown here, right? Again, right? So whatever the recent project, those templates will be shown here. And here I'm going to create a console application. So you can search the console application here also, but it is also provided with a search button, right? So here what you can do is you can type console, and once you type console, it will show you the different project templates that are available with console app, right? So you can see here it is mentioning C Sharp, here it is mentioning VB, here it is mentioning C Sharp, here it is mentioning VB. That means if you want to develop a console application using C Sharp, you need to select this or this. If you want to develop VB application, VB console application, you can select this or you can select this. Then you might be one question, sir, I want to develop a console application using C Sharp. Then why there are two options for console application using C Sharp? Yes, as I told you earlier, the earlier framework is .NET framework and the latest one is .NET, right? So if you select this, then you can develop the application using Windows, Linux, and a Mac operating system, right? But if you select this framework, then you can only develop application using Windows operating system, okay, right? So using .NET framework, your application is going to be platform dependent, and using this .NET, you can develop application across the platform, right? So I'm going to select this console app .NET framework, right? So and I'm developing .NET framework console application using C# language. So I select it. So if you are developing application on a Linux operating system or Mac operating system, then you can select this one. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I'm selecting console app application .NET framework and I'm clicking on the next button, right? So once you click on the next button, so it will open this configure your new project window, right? So configure your new project window means, so you can see your project name. So you can provide a name to your project, what is you are creating. So I'm giving the name as first project, right? So then you can select the location where you want to save the project. I'm saving this project on my machine D/online training folder. You can select, right? So solution name, the solution name, you can give the same name as a project name, or if you want, you can provide a different name, right? Then what is a solution? So if you go, so it is saying that a solution is a container for one or more projects in Visual Studio, right? That means once you have created a solution, so currently we are creating one project, right? So this project is going to be created inside this solution first project. But apart from this solution can contain other projects as well. So as you proceed, then you can create many number of projects as part of the solution. So solution is nothing but it is a container of many projects, right? And then you can see here it is saying place a solution and project in the same directory. So if you want, you can place both in the same directory. If you don't want, and then don't check it, right? Then .NET framework, right? You can see the latest framework is 4.8. I'm selecting this, guys. While installing, while developing the application, if you don't find this 4.8, then what you can do is, right? So you can go to this. I have already provided this link. So you just need to go to this site, and you just need to download this one. So you can see when I move to this .NET Framework 4.8, here I have two options. One is runtime, another is a developer pack. Runtime means what? If you only need to run the .NET application, then this is enough. But if you want to develop as well as run the application, then this developer pack is required. So what you need to do, you just need to download this .NET Framework 4.8 developer pack, and you just need to install it on your machine. That's it. So once you install, then you will see this framework 4.8 on your machine. If it is available, then it is well and fine. If it is not available, then you can download from here only. So I have already provided the link in the document, right? So once you select .NET Framework 4.8, then you can click on the create button, right? So once you click on the create button, it will create your first console application using C# programming language, right? And you can see the interface. So this is the interface, right? So here you can see, so this is nothing but solution. In this solution, currently I have one project. As we progress in this session, as progress in this course, I will show you how to add many and different kind of project into a single solution. And currently you can see the solution name is first project and the project name is first project. It is not mandatory. You can provide a different name to your solution. That will also I will show you. And apart from that, you can see there are many folders, right? So you can see there is some properties, there is some reference, there is some app config, and there is some program.cs. So if you open this assembly.info class file, then you will get this. What is this assembly info? That I will discuss later, right? So currently I'm not going to discuss. Then this is reference. Reference means for developing a C#.NET application, what is it required and what is mandatory? Mandatory is base class libraries, right? Yesterday I have already told you, right? Without BCL, we cannot develop a .NET application. Yes or no? So this BCL is nothing but your assembly. What is this assembly content? This assembly content some predefined classes interfaces. And what these predefined classes and interfaces contain? They contain predefined variables or fields, predefined properties, and predefined methods. And using those predefined methods, properties, variables, we can develop our .NET applications, right? Without those, we cannot even write a single line of code in Visual Studio. So if you want to use those predefined classes, interfaces, and methods, what you need to install? You need to add a reference to those assemblies. And those assemblies, the default, which is mandatory and required, are already by the Visual Studio. Whenever you create a new console application, you can see Microsoft C# system core data, HTTP, XML link. So these are the default assemblies will be added whenever you create a console application, right? Then one is app config file. So this app config file is nothing but it provides the information. So what is the current framework version? What is the framework version this application is targeting? So you can see it is targeting .NET framework and it is targeting version 4.8. And then another important use of this app config file is whenever you want to create some global variables, right? Then you can also create the same inside this app config. For example, connection string. So you can create the connection string here, and you can paste the connection string, and you can work with, right? So that we'll discuss in detail in our coming session. What is how to create global variables, right? Whenever we are adding any references, those references, how it is going to be added, and how to create connection string, how to create global variables, how to use those global variables in our applications. Everything we are going to discuss in our coming sessions, right? Then this is the main program, right? Why I'm saying it is the main program? Now, because let me increase the size. So, because see, if you are working with C sharp and if you are working with C++ and C language, then you might know there is something called main method. Main method is nothing but the program execution is going to start from there. The same case is also here in C sharp console application. The C sharp console application is also going to start from the main method. But but as C sharp programming language completely support the object-oriented programming. So object-oriented programming means we can implement class and object, right? So we cannot write anything without using any class. So that's why you can see one class is there. And as part of that class, it is defining one method called main. And the program execution is going to start from the main method only. So this is so whenever you are creating one console application, your console application should have maximum one main method, right? Maximum one main method. You cannot define this main method 2 times, right? If you define 2 times, then the CLR will get confused. Which main method, from which main method I need to start the program execution, right? Your program should have at least one main method and maximum also one main method. If you are not defining your main method, then it is unable to start the execution because it will not identify from where I need to execute the program, right? So this is the main method. And suppose you want to let's say every application we start writing the code hello world, right? So let us write the code. Let us write console.writeLine. What is this console and writeLine? That I will discuss later. So here I'm typing hello world. Now, so once you type hello world, so this statement is going to be shown in the output screen. Console.getKey, right? So you can see while I'm typing, some IntelliSense is showing. That will also I will discuss in our comment section. So I have written the code. So now when I execute this program, this message what I have written inside this writeLine method is going to be printed in the console window. See here, this is a class, this is a method. This class and method are not defined by me. These are predefined classes and method. And if you want to take the input and if you want to display some input in the console window, then in that case, console class is required. And this console class is available in which assembly? You can see apart from this five namespaces, this is highlighted. That means this console class is coming to this assembly. How you can verify? Just click, right click and go to select, go to definition. Okay. So when you go to the definition, then you will see that the namespace name is system, right? That means this assembly name is system, and from this assembly, this console class is present. There are many classes methods available that we will discuss in our coming session. So for now, you just remember console is a predefined class, writeLine is a predefined method, and this predefined class and methods are belongs to this predefined assembly or predefined namespace, right? Now, if I run the so if you want to run the application, then you can see. So let me. Okay, so you can see there are file, edit, view, git, project, build. So many options are there, and there is a button called start, right? So when you click the start button, the program execution will start and it will print the data. Let's do this. So click on the start, and even if you want, then you can also type Ctrl plus F5 to start the execution. The shortcut key for running your application is Ctrl plus F5. But here I'm using start button. So click on the start button. So once I click on the start button, the program start executing, and the program start executing from the main method, and whatever statement is written inside the main method, you can see here I have written hello world, and that is what it is showing here, right? So using Visual Studio, you can create the project, you can edit the code, you can run the application, right? Even you can compile the application. See, so now I want to compile the application. So for compiling, what you can do is you can right click and click on the build. So it will compile the application. So using Visual Studio, you can compile the application. Even you can debug the application. You know, the program execution started from the main method. So here I'm putting a debug pointer. So in order to put the debug pointer, what you need to do is So see, if you want to put a debug or breakpoint here, you can right click and you can see there is an option called a breakpoint. You can insert a breakpoint. And other option is that what? That you just need to click here, right? You just need to click here. It will put a breakpoint. If you want to put a breakpoint here, you can click here, right? Once you put a breakpoint, again, if you right click on that particular place,
programming.
sorry.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So let's say so I have put a debugger point here. So now our application is going to debug. So now the application is going to debug means what? Now you can see. So when I click on the start button, if you open the window, so you are not getting any output because the statement is not executed yet, right? So you can see now there is a yellow mark in that debugger point, and you can see this is selected. That means now our application is stopped here, right? Now, if you want to execute the next statement, so what you can see, you can type F10 or 10. So I just write a function key and F10. So it will come to that statement, but still it is not executed that statement. Again, when I click F10, so it will execute that statement. You can see this statement is executed, and you can see the output here also, right? So using a Visual Studio, you can not only create the application, you can compile the application, you can debug the application, you can run the application, right? Apart from that, there are many other things, that is extensions, that is you can get the third-party libraries from NuGet package manager, right? So you can use some, okay, let me show you. So you can see there is a tool option, right? In the tool option, if you click on the NuGet package manager, then you can go to that manage package, NuGet package for solution, click on this. So once you click on this, you can go to this browse button. So currently you can see there is no reference for newtonsoft.json DLL, right? You can see only this thing. Now I'm going to install this. So if you want to install this, you need to select this DLL and for which project you want to install. If there are multiple projects, then all the project list will become here, and you need to select the project where you need to install this. And once you select the project, and there will be one option we'll call install, right? And it is going to install the latest version, right? So once you click on the install button, then it will install this DLL inside this reference folder. So there are other options. There might be one question you have, sir. If I want to use some older version, then how it is possible? That I will show you also in our coming article, coming session. So you just need to click on the install button. So once you click install button, you can see something is happening in the output window, and the project and the DLL is installed, and you can see that the DLL newtonsoft.json here, right? As soon as you install this, you can see one package.config file also automatically added. Then what this package.config file will include, that it will make a reference. It will give you the reference. What are the third-party libraries you have installed into your application? See, you can see you have installed newtonsoft.json, which version is 13.0.1, which is targeting to .NET Framework 4.8, right? Is that clear? So in this way, you can